The Weekly Warp Pipe.
Welcome, everyone. We are diving back into the Warp Pipe this week. Womp, 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 womp. Going back to 1995. I kind of picked a random year. Me and Jay were discussing topics, and I was like, what if we did like the year 1995? Let's talk video games, music, movies, kind of bring up everything that happened there. I will say I was doing the research for the episode, and some things are hard to narrow down to the exact year. Where I was trying to get like a lot of toys that came out, and it was just hard to like narrow down when that toy came out. It's easier to do like 90s toys because then you have a 10-year span of like
Right.
Ninja Turtles and this and that. But we could be like, these specific toys came out in 1999. It's a little harder to track down. But music, movies, and video games, that's a heck of a lot easier.
That's right. And Russ, I'm just going to be forthcoming and say I did zero research for this. So whatever research you did, I'm just going to commentate on.
That's all. I mean, well,
That's
I
all.
did send you. I sent you the Google Doc. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I did not.
In case you wanted to take a peek,
I didn't do it.
But
So
you did not.
You're getting a blind reaction, Russ.
Blind reaction. We got a few comments from you guys too. I posted earlier today, so we got a couple comments on our YouTube page, which we'll get to and see what you guys say about the year 1995. Now I'm trying to think back. I started high school in 96, so I was still in middle school at this point.
Did you graduate in 2000?
Yes.
See, I graduated in 99, so I was freshman year in 95.
So it'd be interesting almost to be like, because I did not put clothes on here, so you can almost off the dome, like, what was I wearing freshman year, high school in 19?
I was wearing an I'm Special ATM Click skateboarding t-shirt.
Oh, yeah? That was your
It just had
go-to?
a circle, a little cloud, a rainbow, and it said, I'm special.
Fair enough. Where'd you get that, PacSun?
No, I had to get it at Blazers skate shop in Greenville, South Carolina on Lawrence Road, the old location.
Are they still open today?
For those of you, yeah, they absolutely are.
Wow.
They are. Blazers Skate Shop is a staple skateboarding shop here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I can remember that it's been around since probably the late 80s. Or at least early 90s.
Yeah.
First time I ever went there was in like 94 when I bought my Alien Workshop Swisswood.
So the local store we had was called Eastern Pulse, and they had quite a few locations that they moved around, but they also had in their store like a indoor skate park, at least with a couple ramps and stuff like that. So you can go there, skate if you want, or just purchase merchandise. And they also had snowboarding stuff as well, in like rollerblading. So kind of any of the extreme sports. I remember definitely checking out like the cool wheels, trucks, and all that, but I never, purchased my
You never
own
dabbled in
skateboard.
skating?
Yeah, like I had a board that my dad had got me, and it wasn't great, but I never got good at it, so I never.
But you
purchased, I
didn't
guess.
ride even as far as like not communication, geez. What's the word I'm looking for?
Let's say travel,
Transportation.
transportation.
Geez. So different.
No, yeah, I never. I used rollerblades, and then I got a bicycle, and I used that. I would rollerblade to work when I was 16, and then use my bike.
You're
So no
what the French
skateboarding.
call fruit booter.
A fruit booter?
That's what skateboarders call rollerbladers to make fun of them. I can't say anything. I grew up playing street hockey, so I was wearing rollerblades all the time.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, skateboarding definitely was big in the 90s for sure. So maybe you guys remember getting special wheels and trucks and building your board and all that, and could be pretty neat.
You know what's weird, Russ? And I'm gonna tell this quick story, and then we can get into it. But when I bought my skateboard, I saved up my own money, so I had like dollars and pennies, and I brought like a ton of change, and I bought all this stuff up there, and I paid this man in this with all these random coins and stuff. He was probably like, "What the heck?" But I remember the church across the street from where I grew up, had put out fresh mulch because this was in the spring of 90 s probably n actually, this is probably spring of '96 because fall of '95 was when I started school, and, so skateboarding, I'm always associated with when I smell like fresh mulch. Isn't that strange?
To get that association. That's pretty good. I dig it.
Kinda
It's
weird, right?
well, it's no, because I have certain smells that trigger memories for me. On the weekends, I would always go to my grandparents for the most part and stay with them while my mom was working, and she would always make chicken, and she would like I don't know if she was like frying it in the pan. I don't know, it wasn't really frying it. What's another way you prepare chicken, Jay?
Like
Um,
like baking it? No, I guess that would be like an oven, like
it was like I want to
blackening,
say
like a like blackened chicken, like you're kinda
like it
burning
was
it almost, searing it?
yeah, like it was in a pan, whatever it is, that smell. I get the same smell when I'm at Costco and the rotisserie chickens are coming out for whatever. It's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
similar smell, and it kind of brings me back to like, oh, that's what grandparents like. We had the chicken, diet soda, and the Neapolitan ice cream on Fridays, and I'd
That's so
I'd
funny.
watch Snick at night.
Snick, it's either Snick or it's Snot.
So smells definitely trigger some memories.
That's great, I love it.
All right, we're getting into 1995. The topics I have are games that came out, music, and of course, I did like singles that came out, but then also like events that happened in music
Cool.
industry. So we got a few of those to dive into. Movies that came out, and I had one toy that I could narrow down to 1995, but maybe we can try to dive into that a little bit more. But we're just gonna, give our opinion on each of these here and move along.
Let's do
1995,
it.
certainly an amazing year. So I broke this down. I got Super Nintendo games. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island came out. And boy, were we disappointed. No, possibly.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, that I still don't love that game. I one of the things I think I dislike the most about that game, there's like I guess there's 3 things. 1, obviously, the crying Mario sucks. 2, I'm not a huge fan of the art direction. And 3, I don't like the turn that Yoshi took once that game was brought out. Like, he seems a little less BA. Seems a little he seems kinda lame to me. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it the character design. He looks something about him seems a little weak. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're going with it.
He's too
It's
kiddie.
they tacked on it's like very small font, like Super Mario World 2, and then it's like Yoshi's Island real big. So you're like,
Yeah.
okay. But like Jay said, it has this cartoony, hand drawn-ish art style that is very more geared towards a younger audience.
Yeah.
And Yoshi is very more kid friendly, I guess. Whereas in
Mhm.
Super Mario World, you're like, cool, he's a dinosaur. He's we had Denver the Last Dinosaur coming out, like these cool dino riders, like
Yeah.
dinosaurs were cool. And then you kind of like dumb them down in this sequel
Yeah,
game where you're like,
you kinda, like, lamed him up a little bit on Yoshi's Island. I wasn't a fan. You know, I'm sure I know, like, our buddy Tyler over at My Retro Life was a big fan of it. He's a couple years younger than us. So maybe that, like, he was the demographic and maybe I wasn't the demographic at that point since I was, um, 14 years old. So,
so is what it is.
yeah.
But another game that came out, it was definitely a year for sequels, was Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy Kong's Quest came out. I don't know how much you, played into this one, but I was super excited for the first Donkey Kong. I didn't really have this on my radar, and I only played it in recent years, not back in '95, though.
At this point, hockey was starting to take over my world, and, I was playing less video games. I think the last video game I got for my Super Nintendo was actually NBA Live '95, which I think I got in like fall of '95. Um, but yeah, Donkey Kong. The only memory I have, and I've told this before, was just seeing it in Best Buy. I did not love the graphics style for some reason. It just didn't appeal to me. I don't know what it was about it. Um, I think I like the brighter colors of like the Super Mario World, and because
Mhm.
of the way that that game is made, it's it's a it's some of it's still bright, but it still seemed darker. Does that make sense? I don't know how to
Yeah,
describe it.
yeah, it's certainly a different style with however they're rendering the graphics or whatever. I mean, you're in a jungle,
Yeah.
so I guess it's supposed to be a darker tone or whatever.
It almost has like a Mortal Kombat kinda, like, palette. Does
Right.
that might not even make sense. People might not even have a clue what I'm talking about. You might just be like, "Jay, you're super picky. Shut up and get out of here." I don't know. But
Uh,
no, like, it just wasn't on my radar. I was too worried about whatever the Pittsburgh Penguins were doing at the time.
what they, what they were doing at the time.
That's right.
All about the sports. Yeah, like I said, I was super excited for the first one because they did so much promotion on it. But the second one, I don't even think I seen at Blockbuster Video or came out.
See
Obviously,
all, like, the dark spots in the background?
yeah.
That's kinda what I mean, like, all the shadows.
So you're playing as Diddy Kong and then Dixie Kong instead of the first one was Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. So she kind of has her all moves and this and that, and you go back and forth. I mean, very similar gameplay to the first one, but I didn't
D is
dive
this
into this one too much.
is this the one people say is the best, or is it the 3rd one that they like the best?
Yeah, I'm not too sure because yeah, they did come out with a third one as well, which I have all three, bought them all physically, have them, but I haven't beaten them all or played too much in them.
I feel like I have this on Super Famicom.
So
You could
Diddy
be a
Kong too.
spider?
Well, I get. Oh well, yeah. Usually you're riding the animals, but it seems like this you're
Weird.
just a spider. Yeah.
Interesting.
Fair
Okay,
enough. Moving on to more sequels. We have Super Bomberman 3.
cool.
I don't know if you played this one at all. I never really got into the Super Bomberman series.
I never played it on the NES or Super NES until I became a retro collector
Yeah,
8, 9, 10 years ago, whenever it was.
but it's a puzzle game, right?
Yeah,
Top down perspective, multiplayer. Um, not much not much different, I'd say, from the other ones. So I guess they just changed up the level design. I don't know. Said I'm not a big Super
just
Bomberman
it's just
fan.
like Super Bomberman 16-bit graphics is really all it is.
Right, right. And I mean, this has been such a successful franchise. It's still going today, like they have it on Switch and everything. And I don't know.
Looks cool.
It's
I
neat.
don't know how long it would have kept my attention.
Right. But it came out in 95.
That's interesting. You can throw from one end and it goes to the other.
Oh, yeah. I see that
Hey, you
mechanic.
know what's weird? So those are definitely conch shells, but for a minute I thought they were like aardvark faces.
I could see it. Little
Like, why are there wiggling aardvark faces under the sea?
underwater aardvark.
Are you Googling this to see what it looks like?
No, no, no. um, moving on to one of the other games, maybe you'll have more input on. I didn't play it honestly when it came out in 95, but we got Mega Man 7 came out for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't gaming at this point, you know? Maybe at a friend's house here and there, but it just wasn't on the forefront of the old noggin. Now, if I could go back and slap myself in the face, I would be like, dude, you need to be buying games up while they're a reasonable price.
Right, right.
Go get Chrono Trigger. Go get, see if you can find a little Samson real quick before people break wind of the fact that this is a good game, you know?
And it looks awesome. It's basically, 16-bit version of your regular NES games. You had 1 through 6 on Nintendo. And then I guess come to find out they weren't done with the series because you did have Mega Man X on the series, but Mega Man X is a different robot, right?
Okay.
It's further in the future. So you got regular Mega Man here. So that's why the graphics are a little bit different. He,
Yeah,
he doesn't look like X.
I like the style of this Mega Man over Mega Man X.
Right.
He
This
looks
is
a little
more
more familiar.
right. This is more similar to if you had played the Wily Wars where they redid Mega Man.
2
I
and
think
3 or
right. I don't know if it was 1, 2, and 3 or
yeah,
what,
it might have
but
been 1, 2, and 3.
it was in that 16-bit style. Pretty fun game. But Mega Man 7 on Super Nintendo
I
might be
bet that's a
worth
pricey game, isn't it?
I'm sure it's probably, $100 or so.
Looks good though.
Another game that came out that is quite pricey in 1995, and I definitely picked this one up, and that would be Chrono Trigger.
I thought that was gonna be what you were gonna say. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I wasn't friends with cool kids like Russ back then. So nobody exposed me to Chrono Trigger. I don't think I knew what Chrono Trigger was. I don't think I had a slightest idea what it was until maybe like 2014, 2015, 2016.
Yeah, I mean, it's a super fun RPG, um, with time travel, right? Time travel mechanics in it. The gameplay is a little bit different than your normal Final Fantasy. They kinda switch it up slightly, but I definitely got into it and really enjoyed it. There's multiple endings. The game got re-released on the Nintendo DS as well, which is cheaper on there if you wanna play it, but still have my copy for Super Nintendo. I got a tattoo of, Chrono
Old Chrono himself.
I'm working on. Let's see, here we go. He's right there. It's kinda hard to see with the, focus of the camera, but I'm gonna be getting him colored in a few months, and, it's definitely a fantastic game.
It's a game that I am like probably like 80, 90% of the way through
Yeah,
and just stop playing it. And here's the problem. When you stop playing a game like Chrono Trigger, what's your I'm sure all of you that play RPGs know this, but for those of you that don't, when you play RPGs, it slowly builds up your ability to multitask. And as
okay.
the game goes on, you get better and better at multitasking and keeping up with all of your party. Okay. So me, I'm trying to jump back into this game at a harder point in the game, and my practice multitasking is now terrible. So I'm supposed to be like taking turns and shuffling through my, inventory and picking the right spell and doing this and doing that. Meanwhile, I'm just getting slammed because my skills and picking my attack and my tech and my this and my that is just garbage now. So
Right, because like I said, so with Final Fantasy, it's a turn base where you choose your attack and then the enemy attacks, then you choose your attack. But Chrono Trigger kind of has this meter that builds up. So sometimes if your meter goes fast enough, you can almost attack twice before the enemy attacks you. So I thought that was kind of neat. And it doesn't go into that like different screen that Final
mhm.
Fantasy does when you get into a battle. You can see the enemies on screen and then you just move to a certain area and you fight. So I thought that was kind of neat. Definitely a fun one. And for whatever reason, when I was playing this game, which we'll get into later on, I was grinding to level up my characters. And at the time I was listening to Collective Soul and their album just like nonstop. So I kind of like simulate. Oh, if I hear Collective Soul, I immediately think of like, hey, Chrono Trigger when I was playing
The
that
one
back in the
with
day.
Smashing Young Man and,
The
December.
December, yeah.
December promise you gave unto So you know what's funny about that? I associate that album with driving to hockey practice
Oh, okay.
because that was, like, my first favorite song that was like, I love this song, The World I Know.
Yes.
That's so funny that you were playing this because I just remember riding to hockey practice.
Yeah.
But I wanna say one more thing about Chrono Trigger. The
Okay.
music is unbelievable. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. And somebody showed me my friend shout out to Jordan. I don't know if Jordan's gonna watch this or not. My friend Jordan sent me this video. We met because I sold him, what did I sell him? My one of my NES boxes. But he showed me that Wiz Khalifa made a song to a Chrono Trigger song.
Oh, so he sampled, like,
Can I
music
play
that
it? Or is it
yeah.
okay? Are you
I
scared it's
mean
gonna be a copyright strike?
whatever, we're not making any money.
So there's that. And then there's
Yeah,
another one
recognize
here.
music, yeah.
This one's probably more popular.
Okay. What do we got?
Like, that's so Chrono Trigger.
Yep, oh, yeah. That's neat that he took the beats.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I never heard of that before, and it fits so well. That's pretty
I
sweet.
had
Put a
never heard of
little
it
drum and
either, and
bass
I was
over it.
like, "Okay, I like Wiz Khalifa now, I guess."
I did,
Hard to beat.
find let's see if I can search him up real quick. Uh, what was his name? Eric someone he did a full cover of Chrono Trigger. Eric Ladd, I think is his name. Um, yeah,
Led
let's see.
Spencer?
Music.
You know who Led Spencer is?
No, who's Ladd Spencer?
I think Led Spencer is the main character from Bionic Commando.
Oh, maybe it is. Music here. Eric Ladd, Ladd. If you go on
Yeah.
Bandcamp, he has a bunch of different music on here. So the album is Wings of Time, and it's a
Oh, yeah, he's
full
got the little, what's it called? The little
the Epoch on there.
Epoch or Epoch,
Epoch,
whatever, yeah.
but he has about 10 tracks on there or so. I downloaded it. I don't know if you, but
Oh, sick. Dun, dun.
it's like so good. Like so.
What is your favorite track, Russ? Do you know? Do you know what it is?
I mean, it's been a while since I heard them all on there. I mean, definitely that one there, the Millennial Fair is like classic. I feel like I've stayed a lot of time roaming around the fair and stuff, but
I have a favorite.
you have one?
I don't know it by
Is it
name, but
listed here? Oh, okay.
I'm looking to see.
Yeah.
I think it is called Guardia Castle, maybe?
Guardia Castle.
Yeah, is that on there?
Um, no, I mean, maybe he didn't cover that one.
Yeah, this is it. This is
Oh,
it.
okay, it's very like military, almost Bionic Commando-ish.
It is very Bach Commando. But there's this one part where it changes, and I love the change.
Yeah. So it's a little hard to hear for some reason through
Oh, sorry.
his phone. His
Okay.
phone through the
I'll
speaker.
stop it. But anyway, I digress.
Chrono Trigger, definitely a staple. 1995 for sure.
Probably the best game that came out that year.
I would say so. Yeah, yeah, that's good with that. Moving on, we have arcade games.
Cool.
I got two that came out that we can chat about. If you were in the arcade scene back then, they're two fighting games. We got Mortal Kombat 3 hit the
I remember that being
arcades.
a big deal.
Yeah, so they added the run button, right? All right, now I got what is this run button? Added an extra button. Now I got high punch, low punch, block, and run. But seeing the the new characters that they added here, Cabal, very cool. More fatalities for sure. I mean, obviously this is a new fighting game. Any arcades I went to, there's big lines for it. So I was watching kids play it. I didn't have any money at the time. I was just like, I'll just watch other people play it. And
That
it's
guy's character design sucks.
which one?
Cabal, he sucks.
You don't like his character design?
He looks stupid.
He's got
He
like
looks like
a
he looks
mask
like he
on.
should be playing for that band,
Slipknot.
Slipknot, which automatically makes him suck.
You got Striker. Um, well, who else is there? Oh yeah, you could play as Shang Tsung, which was awesome because you actually could
You
morph
could,
into
like,
the
turn
other
to
people.
a dragon, couldn't you?
Well, as like one of the fatalities, yeah, I think Liu Kang turned into a dragon to eat your head. But
Oh,
I
maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
it still baffles me, how these people in the arcade figured out all the combinations, right?
Yeah,
Especially with Shang Tsung, you gotta learn, like, how do I turn into, like, 10 different people, and then you gotta remember the move sets for all the people, right?
yeah, that's true.
But certainly a big hit at the arcade for sure. Tons of people, I'm sure, put quarters into this, played it, probably couldn't wait to get it for home console, but oh, yeah, all the robots, Sector, Cyrax, and Smoke were pretty neat.
Cool.
Mortal Kombat 3. Maybe that wasn't your jam. We did
Come
have the
here.
get over here, Toasty. What else came out? On the lighter side of arcade fighting games, what was it? This 3,
Dude,
right? Let
Tekken
me get
2?
this right. Uh, nope, kinda in the other series, we got Street Fighter Alpha came out,
Mhm.
which I didn't play in the arcade much, but
I don't think I played this at all in the arcade.
so we went from, like, I think Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I think was, like, the last one I remember. So the art
So,
style kinda changed a little bit in this one.
yeah, I don't love the art style. They're too fat. They're too I don't know. I am a picky person because I hate everything based off aesthetics.
I feel like it's a little more, I don't know, animated or so,
Yeah.
or anime maybe inspired.
I think I think I'm a purist, so once I see something the original way, I don't wanna
Right.
see it change ever.
So you wanted to like Street Fighter 2 style, but then, okay,
Yes.
here's 3, here's
Yep,
4, here's
please,
whatever.
just yeah.
Just add new characters.
Yep, thank you.
So a lot of
Please and
these
thank you.
characters, I've never really but well, they got Guy, right?
I
Guy,
know, I just noticed that, that was kinda neat.
and you got a few other ones, like, I think this is, like, Guile's Charlie's friend, right? Because he was
Why
in the
he
movie,
got a stupid haircut.
but he had a rival Guile
Looks
there.
like a snork.
But you get this cool meter that builds up. That was something that they kept in a lot of the future games where your level goes up and then you can unleash like a crazy Hadouken or combo. Essen
Unleash the Fury.
But I'm sure you're either playing Mortal Kombat 3 or you're playing Street Fighter Alpha in the arcades in 1995.
There you go.
And what else did I got? I think I had one more. I got PlayStation games. There was
Okay.
3 that came out. I'll just list them off quickly here. We got Time Crisis, Twisted Metal, and Arc the Lad. I don't know if you have any experience
We
with any of those.
played a lot of Twisted Metal at my friend Mark's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that, and, like, we just went crazy playing that game. Played it a ton. It was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, I remember
That's
my
all I'll say.
friend had a copy as well. We went in on that. Time Crisis though for PlayStation, I only ever played that in the arcade.
I don't even know what Time Crisis is.
So it's a shooter game, right? So you had to have a gun that came with it, but with this
Okay.
game, so the box itself when you get the game on PlayStation, it's a big box because it comes with the light gun, but you also get a pedal because the mechanic in Time Crisis is you're always ducking behind things. So when you
So the pedal makes you duck?
the pedal makes you duck and then you release, shoot, hit the pedal, you duck
Was
back.
the blue and, like, orange
I believe it
guns? Is that
was,
what this
yeah,
was?
I believe so. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure those are the ones that came packed in with it. Yeah.
I'm about to Google it because I wanna know.
And then Arc the Lad, I know is a pricey game. I believe it's an RPG game
Sounds
that
like
came
one.
out, and I never dived into that. So I was playing Chrono Trigger. So I guess if you didn't have a Super Nintendo for PlayStation, you're playing Arc the Lad instead.
This is PS2, right? Or no, PS1.
PS1, yeah.
Okay,
Time
so it
Crisis.
kinda so there's, like, a I see a black, a red, and a gray version of this. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what camera I'm looking at. So there you go. I don't know.
Fair enough.
That's it. That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. Before we get into our music, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor of the episode. We got Bull Airs, bullairs.com. Check out their awesome stock of custom shoes and clothes. They just dropped some awesome stuff. I'll showcase with you guys here. But you can check out their website, bullairs.com. They did a full Back to the Future drop right here. So they actually
Great
had like
Scott.
bull bull mags, they were calling them, and they had ones that lit up if you wanted those versions. And then he also had the coat from Back to the Future that you can get, and kind of one
Sick.
that's like Doc Brown's as well. So
I'm
many
still waiting
cool.
on my free swag.
There we go. You gotta get the swag.
Like how like we're sponsored. I'm not getting nothing. How am I don't understand.
We'll get some stuff to you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just totally being a jerk right now. I'm okay with
But basically, they got a whole bunch of pretty awesome stuff on their site: shoes, shirts, hats, jackets, and I got some killer kicks in the mail today. There's going to be a video on my channel fully reviewing them. You ready for these? We
I think
got.
I might be. The one thing I'll say about Bull Airs is they're always doing something.
I
You
know
know,
it's
it,
like
se-
almost
it
every
seems
few
like he's
weeks.
always making something.
So
So
these are
stay alert.
the Shoe Boys. You ready for this drop?
Oh god, it's gonna be like a Game Boy shoe. I love that.
It's a
I need
Game
a
Boy
shoe
shoe.
boy. I mean that
They
they're
got the
sick though,
pair.
right? They're
Right.
sick.
I don't know how much I'll be wearing these, but they have a
Maybe at
cool like.
cons.
Right. They have like a cool plastic front here and all the details. Like he has the tiny like Bull
Nintendo Power
Airs, like
logo, Bull Air
yeah, like
logo,
Nintendo
Bull
Power
Air seal
logo.
of seal of quality,
The buttons, I love that the swoosh is like
the Game Boy thing.
Game
Yeah,
Boy
it's like
color.
pixelated.
Very well
It's
done.
sick. You know, it takes a unique individual to pull those shoes off, Russ.
Right, right.
I look really weird in that
Search shoes,
style of
that style
shoe.
shoe.
I don't know what you call that style of shoe,
These, I believe, are the Air Force ones, like the
but
Jordans,
I
yeah.
look goofy wearing those. I don't look cool.
They kind of, for whatever reason, they almost give me like the Marty McFly
Oh, they
bags
totally look
vibe,
Marty McFly. I was just thinking the same thing before you even
right?
said that. I
With
was
the
like,
gray and everything, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, Back to the Future.
very cool. So if you guys want to check out Bull Airs, tell them Weekly Warp Pipe sent you.
That's right.
All right, we're moving on to music that came out in 1995. These were tracks blaring on your boombox,
Hot
blaring on the radio
tracks.
station.
How come I have a feeling these songs are gonna be garbage?
I picked ones that I think we would know. Now, obviously,
Mm,
I didn't get everything. I didn't want to just list every single track, but I picked ones
actually,
that
I'm gonna say there's probably one song, hopefully you name, and I'm gonna be like, "That's the one. That was the best song that year."
that was the best song
So
this
let's
year.
see if you say it.
All right,
I'm
we
gonna write
got.
it on a piece of paper.
Oh, okay. I'll
We're
give
gonna
you a second
test
to
this theory.
do that there.
Hopefully this pen works. Ah, my pen stinks.
I will
Alright.
say definitely in 1995, I don't know if I was on CDs yet. I might have still had some cassettes that I was picking up, and maybe just because my first CD player was obviously a big home entertainment unit, and it took a while before I got my Walkman. That was the brand name of the CD player for what it was, a CD player, but named Walkman, and it had the anti-skipped on it. I still have one of them. It's bright yellow, and I was like, "Oh, I could throw this in my backpack when I rollerblade."
Gotta love anti-skip. Alright, I got it wrote down, Russ. So let's see if you it's written down on this piece of paper
Mhm.
on the other side, so we'll see if you say it, and we'll see if I guessed it.
Alright. We got Boombastic from Shaggy.
They
Mr.
call me Mr.
Boombastic.
Boombastic, really fantastic. I can remember my friend TJ Tim loved this song. I thought this song was stupid.
It was stupid, but man, got a lot of plays, got a lot of plays.
Yeah, made him rich.
We got Gangster's Paradise by Coolio.
I had the single for that.
You picked this single up? This like the
Yeah,
cassette?
'cause that song no, it was a CD
This
single.
okay.
But I that song was in some movie that I saw. I don't remember what the movie was.
Dangerous Minds. We
Maybe
co-
it
we
wasn't Dangerous Minds,
no,
but I was like, "This song was great. I love it."
we talked about this when we had Mike Butler
No, no,
on.
no, no, no. You know
Right?
what? I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another song.
Thinking
It's
of a
like,
different song.
"I'll see you when you get there. If you ever get there, I'll see you when you get there." It was that Coolio
That
sang
was
that. That was the song I'm thinking of. It wasn't
fair
the other
enough.
one.
All right. Well, Gangster Paradise came out.
Thanks for listening to my song.
We got Don't Speak by No Doubt.
That's a great song.
My girl Gwen. Tragic.
Yeah.
So singing about
Tragic Kingdom.
her relationship with the bass player, as far as I
I
know,
know.
and they
Can
had
you
broken up.
imagine, like, having to sing that song every night
And I'm like,
with your
God.
bass player playing the bass?
And then it's a hit, so you always have to play it.
It's like me if me and you break up, Russ, and we have to keep doing this podcast.
Definitely awkward. Um, we got Big Me by the Foo Fighters. You remember
Big
that?
Me.
Remember that music
I
video?
don't think I know this song. I didn't pick up on the Foo Fighters until The Color and the Shape.
This was the "If We Talk About It,
Okay, I do know
Carry
this
On,"
song.
and the whole commercial is a Mentos commercial,
Oh, I do? Okay, I remember that.
and it's so light, like lightheart. Like from their first single, you're like, okay, and then this was the second one, and it's all like clean guitar, and they're all like, jamming, and I was like, okay, this is a little different, but I guess it works.
Yeah, Foo Fighters weren't on my radar at that point. There
Then
was
we
some
got
there was another band that
another
was
band.
fully engulfed my
I got a
brain at
few
this
more.
point.
Um, Collective Soul, December. That song came
Yeah.
out.
The World I Know, I think, is the better song on that album
Okay,
of the 2 singles.
definitely a lot of good hits on that album. What about this one? I don't know if you remember this band. Dishwalla is the band. Counting
Counting
Blue
Blue
Cars.
Cars? Oh, do you think I wasn't gonna say it before you did, but I did. That
That was a
song
that was a good one.
was incredible. What did you find most striking about that song?
Um, doesn't he refer to God as a she in
That
it?
you nailed it, Russ. You nailed it. Yeah, because
And I was
'cause I'd
like,
really
oh.
like to meet her,
And I was like,
ask
all
her
right,
what, when, who we are. Yeah, that song is great.
definitely in
90s
it.
injected into my veins just now.
Dishwalla.
Great
Love it.
name too.
On the opposite end of that, we got Bored by Deftones.
I
Uh,
don't know anything about the Deftones.
this is like classic for sure 90s. That album, Adrenaline, is the name of the album, but that was their first single, Bored, and it just starts off with the guitar. Dun-dun-dun-dun, 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 and then he comes in with the vocals. So good. And he like just gets really up there. I was just surprised at like how high he can sing and then screaming and get that dynamic. Deftones definitely
I met
1995.
this kid in the early 2000s at school the college I was going to, and he loved music and he was good at guitar. And I went to his house once or twice, and he loved the Deftones. I remember him being like, "Dude, you got to listen to the Deftones." And I remember him playing it for me, and I just knew instantly that I did not like it.
No,
So
it's not
sorry,
for me.
Deftones fans, it's just not for me.
All right, what about this one there? More of the dance crowd. I don't know how you say this, the band name. La Bucci, but Be My Lover.
Won't you be my
My
lover?
lover,
That song
my love. Yep.
is that it?
Yeah, that's the one.
That song came out in '95.
Apparently, according to my
Wow,
research.
who knew?
We had that one came
Uh,
out, and then on the other end of dance music, we got Ace of Base. It's a beautiful life. Oh, oh, it's a beautiful life. That
that's
one.
I actually like Ace of Base.
They had some good jams for sure. And the last one I put was LL Cool J, Doing It. I don't know if you remember that song. Doing it and
Maybe.
doing it and doing it. Wow.
Oh
I
yeah,
represent Queens. She was raised out in Brooklyn.
I do remember that.
So I guess we didn't hit the one that was on your paper then.
No, no, and I'm a little upset that you did not
Maybe I just
find
didn't
this.
list it. Maybe it was on the site, but I chose not to write it down. What do we
All
got?
right, it is. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna reveal my paper
Oh, okay. That's
tonight.
true.
Tonight,
of the
by the
Smashing
Smashing
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins, and I double checked it.
Oh, yeah, to make sure. 95, there it is.
Billy Corgan's ghoulish face telling me it's 1995. That song so, the Smashing Pumpkins
Mhm.
were my absolute favorite band. I went and bought every one of their disc albums I could buy, and, until I heard Dude Ranch, and then I was like, "Jack Skellington, what's this? What's this? There's magic everywhere. What's this? There's punk rock in the air." Anyway, that was me.
I dig it.
It blew my mind. I dig it. Don't have to, that was terrible.
Alright, I do have a few, what would you call these?
I don't know.
Moments
Oh,
in music history. There we
oh,
go.
moments, okay.
Moments in music history in 1995 with the Weekly Warp Pipe. We had on January 8th, Pearl Jam frontman Eddie Vedder hosts Self Pollution Radio, a 4.5 hour radio broadcast with live performances by Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Mudhoney, and others. Any station with a satellite receiver could pick up and carry the program.
Interesting.
We had Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee marries Baywatch actress Pamela Anderson on a beach in Cancun, Mexico.
Classic.
Definitely. Maybe you watch the later
I did
down the
not.
years the
I did not watch
the
that.
reality show.
Maybe I could've, but I didn't.
We
Oh, I thought you
got
were gonna say something else.
oh.
The VHS or the tape.
Moving on. The members of TLC file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, declaring debts of over 3.5 million.
They shouldn't have went chasing waterfalls.
You know that whole story? They got like basically like robbed from their like record producers and everything. Like they had all these hits or whatever and then had no money, could barely buy a house.
Jeez. They got handed.
We got Rancid released their third studio album, and Out Come the Wolves, along with Green Day's Dookie and The Offspring's Smash, both released the year before. This album helped revive mainstream popular interest in punk rock in the mid 90s and becomes one of the best selling independent records of all time. And Out Come the Wolves eventually goes platinum.
They should have put the 2 albums together and called it Dookie Smash.
Dookie Smash. Good God. Um, this one's interesting. I like this one here. We got the band Oingo Boingo announced that they will break up following a series of Halloween shows in Los Angeles, California. Lead singer Danny Elfman has established a career scoring motion pictures.
Danny Elfman was the lead singer of Boingo Boingo,
Oingo Boingo.
which
Yeah.
is funny because I literally just sang the song that Danny Elfman would later sing for The Nightmare Before Christmas.
So I thought that was pretty neat.
Or did he
1995.
no, that was in '93, so he already sang that and scored that.
Right. He was probably within the misc of doing this as a side thing,
Yeah, the
scoring stuff.
coattails.
And then also in 1995, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame opens up in Cleveland, Ohio, which I visited.
Interesting.
It's pretty cool.
I've been to Cleveland a few times, I've never been. Maybe I'll have to go when I'm up this summer.
Yep. We actually got in free because we went while we were on tour with the band, and if you give them a copy of your CD, they let you in for free. So
I should take my CD of me
they'll
playing
let
with
you in.
Don, 360 sessions. I bet they'd be like, "What is this
What
nonsense?"
is this nonsense? We'll jump over to. You want to do
I
comments
want
or
hey,
what do you want?
I wanna make one comment real quick.
Okay.
I think I know why they do that, Russ.
What do they do? Oh, why do they let the bands in for free with their
Yeah,
CD?
because think about this. What if your band got really crazy famous and they're like, "Hey, look what we have to put in the Hall of Fame. We have their singles or their whatever, their
Right, they're like
homemade
very
disc."
first, yeah, first CD or
So
whatever.
it's like a collection of all this music, and then whenever a band breaks out, they just go get it and put it in the Hall of Fame. Bam.
Could be
I don't
neat.
know, just a wild idea I had. Sorry, go ahead.
I got movies that came out in '95 left here. We'll kinda we'll go through these here. We got Judge Dredd
Don't
with
know if I saw that.
that has
Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. I am the law. That's the famous line from it. Based off a comic book.
So famous, I've never heard it.
Come on. They did do a remake of Judge Dredd that came out a few years back, but yeah, this is a classic movie. Definitely a good one.
Is
What
it?
about Congo?
Mm.
Did you see that
I
one?
remember Congo. I remember there being some kinda Taco Bell cups or something, never saw the movie.
I think there was watches too at
And
Burger
if I
King.
did see it, I don't remember it.
What I remember, so it's based off of a gorilla that knows, like, sign language, and they take the gorilla into the Congo, and they were, like, searching for something or whatever. The only thing I remember taking away from it, they have the gorilla, I believe, wears a device, so when she signs, it speaks what she's signing, and so she kept saying, "Amy want green drop drink," and it was like a martini that she wanted to drink.
That's funny.
So, Congo. What
Sounds
about
pretty weird.
1995? Hackers.
I don't think I've seen none of these movies.
Come on, you never seen Angelina Jolie?
What was I doing in 1995? Playing a lot of hockey, I
I
guess.
guess so, not watching movies. Hackers is, the future. Someone hacks into, uh, some computer, and they find, like, this, they're gonna manipulate the stock market and crash these oil tankers, and they're trying to blame it on these hacker kids to take the fall. I don't know, it's a classic, like, hacking movie. Anytime it talks about hackers, you're like, "Hackers, burn the city."
Burn the city.
Alright, we got, maybe you've seen some of these. Tank Girl?
Okay,
Have you seen Tank Girl?
no.
No.
I remember the box art.
Yes.
That's
See, I
about it.
feel like I have to at least bring that up. Very, I got vibes of, like, Gwen Stefani with, like, the box art because she's a blonde and, like, kinda like that. I feel like how Gwen
She wearing,
Stefani
like, a
would dress.
green shirt.
Right.
Am I right on okay, yes, oh, this is not what I was thinking of.
No?
Yeah, no clue. Don't remember this at all.
So it's like one of those, like, the future, and there's no water, and water is very scarce, and you have, like, these people on the outskirts of the city or whatever trying to fight the baddie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's also, I believe it was also based off of a comic book, but there's a picture of her in the movie.
What is that girl's name?
Rick young Rick Owens created
Mm,
looks for cult movie Tank. Oh, maybe that's not her. I guess the
yeah,
person Rick Owens created the looks for it. Laura Petty
don't know
is
her.
the actress. Tank Girl. All
Laura
right.
Pitt.
We got this movie here Jay might have seen. It's called Sudden Death.
Oh, yes. I didn't see it in theaters, though, sadly,
We did
but I've
speak
seen it
about this.
I've seen it since.
Yes.
Is that the only reason you brought it up? Because you knew I love this movie?
I saw it on there. I was like, "Oh, we talked about this. Jay brought this one up."
Yeah, I have it, but I didn't see it then, but I wanted to.
Jean-Claude
But it's
Van
ba
Damme.
Yep,
Yep.
Van Damme goes in and, the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing the Blackhawks, and he's trying to save the Civic Arena from a bomb. Pretty awesome. He
Classic action movie with him.
fights in a frickin' mascot suit, dressed up like a penguin.
Alright, these other ones here, I'm sure you have seen. I will bet my podcast career on it.
Oh, don't do that.
So, also in the year 1995, we got the first Mortal Kombat movie came out.
I feel like I didn't see this in theaters, but maybe I did. I
Yeah, I feel
can't
like I don't
remember,
know if I went to the theater to see this or not. I'm not 100% sure. I know
but I
I've
think
seen it, like, in the '90s. We might have rented it.
yeah, yeah, but I have seen it for sure. I don't know if it was VHS or maybe I did see it in the theater, I don't remember.
I would say I thought it was great. I thought they did a pretty good job. Like, we were just looking to see, those characters from the movie, and they kinda jam-packed a lot of the characters. You got Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage is in there, Kano's in there, Sonya's in there. Liu
Isn't
Kang's in
Goro in
there,
there?
Goro's in there, Shang Tsung. I was like, "This is a lot of cast from the game," and the sets look pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I'm having, like, this weird memory of maybe I was in the theater. I just I can't tell. I don't know.
I'd say it's very possible, like, I'm sure my dad would have taken me to see it, but I can't physically remember, like, or mentally remember,
I
did I
feel like
see it
this
in
is
theaters?
something Mark's mom would have took us to see, or Brad's mom. My mom would have never took us to see this, but their parents may have.
So, Mortal Kombat, definitely a good one. Also, we got Batman Forever.
Oh, I definitely saw that in theaters. I was obsessed. Is that with the Alicia Silverstone?
Yeah, because I
So
always confuse it with Batman and Robin.
yeah, yeah, me too,
So,
actually.
Batman
Me too.
Forever is,
Oh, it's the one
now I'm
with
confusing.
Riddler.
Right, I
Riddler
believe that right, that's
and
it, right?
Two-Face, right?
We're gonna bring it up just so I can mess up
I don't
my
know. I remember watching
Batman
all the Batmans
Forever.
and loving them.
Yes, so we got Riddler, Val Kilmer's is Batman, and we got Tommy Lee Jones as Harvey Dent. Robin is in it as well.
I will say the only Batman movies I can watch now from that era are the first 2.
Right,
Uh,
Batman and Batman Returns.
the 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 one with the joke, the Riddler, I haven't seen in a while, but I watched the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mhm.
It was terrible, Russ.
That's, Batman and Robin. Mhm.
I was even though Alicia Silverstone was in it, I was, like, bored to tears.
At
I
that
was like,
point, it became very cartoony, uh, comical. It didn't have that serious tone that 1 and
"No."
2 did,
It
and
was
that's kinda
just
what the studios wanted because they're like, "Oh, like, we were supposed to sell toys for this," and some parents were mad that McDonald's was, like, pushing toys or Happy Meals
oh,
with this,
yeah.
and they're like, "It's such a dark movie," and, like, there's, like, blood and all this fighting.
Yeah, the first 2 are great. The other ones were just awful.
Another lighthearted movie that came out was Jumanji with Robin Williams.
Did I see Jumanji in theaters? I've seen Jumanji like 1,000 times, but I don't know. I might have seen it in theaters. I don't remember. Good movie
Getting
though.
sucked into the board game and classic movie. And the last one I have listed was Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, came out in
Oh,
'95.
I have a vivid memory of seeing this in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember being there with my friend Brad and his parents and just laughing hysterically. And the part that just about broke me was when he falls out of the rhinoceros bottom. When he's in this mechanical rhinoceros and he's trying to get close to hear some kind of I don't remember what he's spying on. And basically the fan in this metal rhinoceros goes out and he's like in the Sahara
Yes.
Desert or somewhere. And so he's like sweating to death. So he's like taking layers of clothes off and like he can't get the hatch open.
Right, the hatch is
That's
stuck,
the only way he can go out is to the rhinoceros's bottom. I'm
like
trying
his
to keep
butt.
it PG. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, like it's a noose and a anus. And anyway, it looks like this rhinoceros is, like, giving birth, and this family is sitting there, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's giving birth," like, we're witnessing a miracle, and out falls, like, this naked 34-year-old man, and they're just, like, mortified. It's so funny. But,
Great
yeah,
scene, great scene.
that movie was and I still remember the, "Ah, alrighty then." I was like, "That's so
And
funny."
yeah, in the beginning when he's at the monk temple,
Yeah, that movie is hilarious. Or when he's,
definitely
like,
fun.
riding in that van, he's bouncing all around, and you look over and the other guy's not bouncing at all.
And
He's
he's
like,
sa
there
so he's singing, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang,
oh,
and
yeah, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
it was, later revealed Jim Carrey forgot his lines, so out of, like, desperate reaction or whatever, he just busts into the song and just goes through it, and they left it in because they thought it was hilarious, and I'm like, "It fits
That
so good."
that's so funny.
Then I got a little what was the number one movie of 1995, and they kind of ranked them in here. And Batman Forever was number one at the box office.
I was gonna guess maybe that just for the simple fact that, the, it was like the summer blockbuster.
Right. So other movies that came out I didn't mention, but I guess did good at the box office. Apollo 13 was number two. Toy Story was number three, and Pocahontas was number four.
I actually saw Pocahontas in theaters. I'm a little embarrassed to say that because I was way too old to be seeing a Disney movie.
He's like,
And I
blasphemy. Couldn't get into
and
this
even
sudden death.
funnier, I remember enjoying it.
It's pretty good.
Paint with all
So
the
I
colors of the wind.
so I did have come up one of the best top toys for 1995 was Buzz Lightyear action figure.
Okay.
So that was the
I was
hot
gonna guess a
hot ticket item.
Tamagotchi or a Furby maybe.
Right, possibly. Could have been. All right, we'll dive into some comments, see what you guys said on believe we did it on our YouTube community page. If you guys are following us on YouTube, I usually post on Tuesday mornings or Mondays nights about what the topic is, and then you can chime in and we'll read your comments on the show.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
Let's see what you guys said. We got Mike, 95, the year I graduated high school. Remember seeing Congo that weekend in the theater. Also, Mortal Kombat. Disappointing.
Oh.
Video games, I was still playing my Super Nintendo a ton. Music, we were into the local hardcore scene here in Massachusetts. Bands like Earth Crisis, Snapcase, Sick of It All, Hatebreed, and more.
I've heard of Sick of It All.
Sick of It All's playing. I'm gonna see if I can maybe make it out to the show, but NoFX is doing their last tour, and NoFX is playing in mass with Sick of It All. And
Sweet.
Hatebreed just played on St. Patrick's Day here. They did a big, like, 20-year reunion. I've seen Hatebreed a few times for sure. I'm trying to think if I seen them back in 95. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely a good band. Waves and games. On the lighthearted side, 95 was when I got a Game Boy and played Tetris, Super Mario Land, and Primal Rage until the batteries died.
Nice.
On the heavier side, the Oklahoma City bombing is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of 95, two events that are on far ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I remember the Oklahoma City bombing too.
Definitely a tragic, tragic event. Bilbo Baggins. Love this topic idea. So much good stuff. 94 to 95.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of great, great music coming out, music videos, and video games too. Retroholic 16, what's up, guys? Crazy how much stuff happened in that year. Holds a lot of memories for me. So many great movies like Batman Forever, Goofy
Not
movie,
great.
Heavyweights,
That was great.
and Man of the House.
I remember that too.
The PlayStation 1 came out in the US, and even the O.J. Simpson trial.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
I do remember watching that on TV.
Yeah.
And we got Baxley Kid 2, Chrono Trigger, although I didn't play it until 2012.
That was like
LOL.
me, except you can say like 2019 or something or 2020.
Well, at least you got around to it.
Hey, better late than never. I just gotta finish it.
95. Anything else we want to sub? That's all the notes I had that I did my research for. I was getting
Uh,
ready to head into high school then, and Jay was a freshman in high school in 95.
s
So,
so 95 was a rough year for me. I'll just say this, my birthday was July 9th, so I turned 14 that year since I was born '81 like Russ. And my dad got sick 9 days after my birthday, and we found out he had hepatitis B, which he contracted on a mission trip to India, and he actually died November 23rd, 1995, which was Thanksgiving Day. So, that was, like, a really, really rough way to start high school, like, losing your dad, and it was just, like I think that screwed me up for a couple good years until like maybe like 11th grade when I started playing soccer. I think is when I started finally coming out of that fog. But So 95, the end of it has a lot of like negative emotions for me.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but that's just where I was. That's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, lots of things going on in the world. They brought up tragic events and everything.
Yeah.
And certainly hard transitioning into high school. You got
Yep.
new place you're going, new friends, cliques that you're hanging out with. I definitely remember like the grunge crowd or whatever, skaters
See, and
were
I think
more
that
my
was one of
crowd.
the hardest things for me was I never found
The
a
clique
group.
group.
I never had them. I was on like this misfit group of people, but I didn't even really feel like I fit with any of them. We just didn't have anywhere to go, so we were just kind of lumped together, you know.
Right, right.
It wasn't until soccer when I met Trez Penland, who was like, "Let me hear Blink 182" at his
Mhm.
house, when like I started to like find my direction in life and like
Right.
start. And then it wasn't really until I graduated. I remember when I graduated high school in '99. I remember graduating and walking out, and I saw all these groups of friends hugging and talking, and I just looked around and I was like, "Well, let's just leave." And I just left and just went home, and that was it. I didn't care about any of those people.
He's like, I'm done. I'm out.
I'm done. I'm out. Screw all of you.
Yeah, I'd say I had my small group of friends who, exposed me to some of these cool video games, whether they got them or we rented them on weekends. And of course, different music, listening to, maybe my friends got the Smashing Pumpkins CD and I'm listening to Bush and
Yeah,
No
oh yeah,
Doubt,
Bush was
stuff like
huge
that.
too.
Going to my first concert to see Bush. It was Bush, No Doubt, and Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, what a trio.
So certainly a lot going on. Definitely some good times and a lot of cool stuff that came out in 1995. I mean, let us know if you guys dig this style of episode. We can bounce to another year, maybe do 2000s or late 80s or whatever,
I
and
think
kind
like
of break it
99
down.
would be a cool one.
99.
Yeah.
So we could do those, maybe once a month, and we got our ranking uh publishers of like NES games or Sega games or whatever. We can try to do one a month as well because people seem
Yeah.
to like that one. They're like, oh, do more ranking videos.
I feel like we always feel like we're gonna run out of stuff, but I feel like we just keep finding stuff we can cover. So I think we're good.
Good.
We
We're
can
good
do
for
this
another year at least.
for infinity years. But you're
So
gonna blow it up, so me and Russ can do this for a living.
I know it.
If only that
So
was more interesting.
so give us a call if you want. We got a phone number 949-682-9277. You can leave us a voicemail. The number's in all the descriptions on our website. You can go to theweeklywarpipe.com to see all the episodes on there. We have our Warpipe Wednesday episodes coming out every Wednesday. And then the beginning of the month, we have the monthly Warp Whistle. Yes, that
That's
was
right.
it. So those are like summed up of the past 4 episodes that we had. Quick shout out to our Patreons. We got Dan and Nicole's Treasures Untold, Joe Sheevy, Trace Livinggood, Samantha Chang, Rodney Torres, Retroholic 16, and Austin Mills for supporting the show. You can head over to patreon.com/Russ Lyman. Want to sign up there. And of course, Bull Airs for sponsoring the podcast. Check out bullairs.com. Follow them on Instagram and check out their awesome goods. That's it for this week. Appreciate you guys listening, hanging out. And as always, I'm Russ Lyman. Keep your world fun bit by bit.